We are exposing Gary Gensler. I'm going to open up his trench coat because I've seen what he has inside. He has a list of all the ways he's going to attack crypto. Thank you for joining Discover Crypto. I'm your host, DZ. I'm here with Josh, the married man, the man with two eyes today. And we got a special guest on the ones and twos, as well as a special guest showing up in 30 minutes. We're going to be talking to a founder in the Cardano ecosystem. Not Charles. No, he wasn't missing. But we are here with Drew right now. Drew, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I got attacked by a huge spider last night. So I'm still recovering.
Let's just lead with the spider story because I'm actually interested in that. Was it the riding kind? What kind?
No, I mean, it was a barnyard spider, or some call them a garden spider. But basically, I was changing the chicken food and water out at like 11 o'clock at night, and I ran into this massive web. It coated my entire hat. And I looked to my left, and like probably about a foot away from me was a spider with a butt the size of a silver dollar. Just the butt. Yeah, and he landed on me. He landed on me. I freaked out. Chickens went flying into the air. The dog was in there yelling at everyone. It was crazy.
Can you recreate the noise that escaped your mouth? My imagination says it would be like,
no, it was, oh, shit. You know, I mean, it was a little bit more.
All right, that's a manly.
Yeah.
That's a manly you get hit with a spider. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to hit those certain high octaves. But folks, speaking of the high levels, let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about crypto. Then we're going to talk about the U.S. government, the SEC, and it doesn't matter if it's the French government, the Euro government, the Australian government, the U.S. government. The governments are attacking Bitcoin. They're attacking your crypto portfolio. We're exposing what they're doing and then talking about the next move that crypto is going to take. Let's go ahead and look at today's prices right now. We're just going to briefly check because Bitcoin is getting a nice little bounce, everybody. We are now up 2% for ETH and Bitcoin. We're above 60,500. Sitting here at $60,634. If we keep scrolling, there's got to be something that's moving in a major way. It's not Cardano, not Tron. They're only moving about 1 point something a piece. Shiba Inu with a little bit of a pump there, 3.2. But we're going to talk about the biggest gainers here, Flare and Helium. And folks, I think it's time for me to work on another Solana altcoin video. I think Helium's going to be in it. Folks, in the chat right now, because I'm going to talk about 4 or 5 coins. I don't know what they're going to be. I think Jupiter and Helium for sure. But type in your favorite Solana altcoin. Don't do Render. We just talked about Render. But tell me your favorite altcoin, and it will make it in there. And then hopefully I'll make your portfolio just go so explosive, you'll just be feeling left raw afterwards, everyone. All right, so we got Flare. This is an XRP ecosystem play. That thing is up 9% today. And then we have Helium. Helium has some pretty big news. What's happening with their mobile network over there. They now have some mobile carriers potentially using Helium's network as a test. They're not going to just onboard every single Helium or give Helium 1 million customers or 100 million customers. But, I think it's around 122,000 in some little test areas. So very bullish news for Helium. So if you're burnt like Drew and you didn't get your miner, you may be missing out on some gains, everybody. I'm going to have to, look at what they're building. Drew, you try to get a Helium miner. Did you ever get a refund?
No.
Are you still waiting?
No. I mean, I'm part of like a lawsuit now with them. I spent like $1,500 on a couple mining systems. They never showed up. The Helium network actually works pretty good. They've actually done a pretty good job implementing a network that is trying to compete with major phone carriers. So it's a pretty interesting project, though. So I've gotten over my anger of not getting the mining system. And I think that D-pin, I think we're going to see some D-pin pumps from Helium lead the park like this. So.
All right, someone's shouting out World Mobile from Dan. That's a Cardano project, also doing pretty well. Popcat, that is a popular meme on Solana. But Drift is a prediction market. Fade and TradFi, that's a good suggestion. That might have to make it on there. Let's look at the biggest losers. We have a new meme coin. It's called Dogs. It is briefly in the top 100 right here. It is down 10%. And then we have Fetch down and Arweave is down and Render. So we're seeing some AI coins. They are falling after NVIDIA's report. But what about AGIX? That was one of the tokens I was looking at. And I thought it was green. I knew it was green on Tap Tools. I wanted to see how it is here. It is down by 0.4%. Look at that price action, though. That is so suspicious, if I might say so myself there. But Singularity kind of doing better than the other AI tokens. Hopefully you watched the AI video last night. I try to warn everybody there's a lot of volatility around NVIDIA's, and you need to wait 36, 48 hours before you make a move. If you did that, it might play out pretty well. We might dump in 72 hours, but it's looking like it's doing pretty good right now. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin chopping around in this range. We're still within the range here, but warning, Kevin's chilly warning here. I've talked about this dotted line here, how important it is and how strong it's been as resistance, also been acting as support. And it looks like we might be getting pretty close to an area of resistance. We're kind of in the middle of a pump right now. Just be careful. This dotted line has acted as strong level before. You see the candle bodies just closing perfectly. The wicks hitting that perfectly. Area of support, control right there. Support right there. It's a very important level. So this is maybe not another level I would be trying to trade right now. Maybe stick on the sidelines and wait for Bitcoin to choose a direction. Josh, are you feeling bullish, bearish Bitcoin? Do you have any thoughts here?
Short term right now, I got the trades I'm getting ready to set up today. Ooh. I think we are going to get a breakout here to maybe $61,100. I'm looking to open up a short around $61,150 and then catch a downside swing to this breakout of the 60,800 level. So I would like to see us pump here, wipe out a decent amount of the shorts on the daily level on Binance. And then get a bit of a pullback and find some support. But I'm going to grab that scalp there. That is my goal here in the near term. Yesterday, we had our biggest trade of the entire month, almost $3,000 in a single trade. Insanely profitable in the CoinW Telegram with us here. Really good trading right now. We're taking advantage, and we're just trading Bitcoin. It's real. Don't make it complex with all of the altcoins, guys. Like Bitcoin, low leverage. Have tight stop losses, because if you get risk, guys, if you lose a 5%, take it. Just take the hit, right? We had almost a 50% trade yesterday alone on the portfolio, and we're going to continue, hopefully, keep grabbing these swing trades. Awesome.
I would say be careful if you're in a short-term long right now. Again, a scalp long. I see a little something going on in the charts. This is the 45-minute chart. You can see the price headed down. The bottoms, we have lower lows. But if you look at the RSI was heading up. So this creates a bullish environment, and then Bitcoin did behave bullishly. We have a nice little pump here, about 5%. However, when you go to the smaller time frames, this is just the 12-minute. I see the exact opposite. We have the higher high, but a lower high here, and this can be bearish. Now, that doesn't mean Bitcoin can't just blast through and set up a new, larger time frame bearish divergence. But, I wouldn't hate taking profits if you're in a scalp long from a few hours ago, or if you're just in profit right now. I don't hate peeling off some number of profits there. All right, that's the Bitcoin charts there. Let's talk about the government's attacking Bitcoin.
Let me show you this really quick too with that, because everything you're saying is perfect. So look at the 12-hour. Yeah, look at this, the 12-hour liquidation. Let me move this over just a little bit more so you guys can see better. But yeah, there's a little bit more. So if you can grab, again, be careful. I agree with these right here. If you're on a short scalp trade here, that long, you're literally scraping the bottom of the barrel now. So just be a little cautious, as I would expect a bit of a pullback here just to grab some of that liquidity. But that's just for any scalp traders out there.
Yeah, if I gun in my head, I had to open a trade, I would do a very low leverage, tight stop loss short. That way I would probably look at a close over the next hour.
I'll open a short if it pumps out. We'll see what happens.
All right. Maybe short that wick. All right, let's talk about the governments coming after Bitcoin, coming after crypto.
Doing what?
They're coming after you, folks, and I'm coming after you if you don't hit that like button. Drew, where are we on the likes? I'm curious.
Just under 100. We need to pump these numbers up. So
we need to get those are rookie numbers. You got to pump it up.
Guys, if you want Deezy to come pump the numbers, hit the like button. Wait, no, the government to come. What's coming? What are we talking about?
The markets are coming back. That's my prediction here. And SEC, now I guess you kind of covered this. Those breaking news yesterday. The SEC says NFTs are securities in the new Wells notice against OpenSea. You did cover that yesterday, correct?
Yes.
So that's the first phase. But we also have the unrealized capital gains tax situation going on. A lot of people are upset about this. We're going to play a clip right after we break down this article, because they're doubling down. This is a policy. She proposes the highest capital gains tax in over 100 years for stocks and crypto. I don't know if this is going to play out. Why a lot of people labeling her a communist for this policy decision. The plan entails raising the upper limit to capital gains tax from 37% to 39%. And if it's more closely implemented to the original scheme, 44.6%. Also raising capital gains tax from 0% to 25%. And if you're wondering, is that still her policy? We have one of her spokespeople here. This is just yesterday. This is from Squawk Box. Shout out to Joe Squawk and the team at CNBC here. This is only about a minute long. Joe freaks out on this guest right here. Let's just say Joe's on one.
Squawk Box. They've been crushing it.
Joe Kernan, he's got a little kernel.
Really, over the years, we've watched him become just like this full Bitcoiner.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's not allowed to say it too much on there, but like he definitely advocates for it. You
can tell he wants to scream, they're printing your money to oblivion.
You can
exit the system if you can. But here we go.
I'm going to have to restart it.
Here we go. And go.
Phoenix.
Oh, we got to do the VMix thing, and we got a call coming in. So, we're messing with this.
Wicca.
We got to remix the VMix. You can see ready to connections. All right, we're good to go now, right, Drew?
Well, unrealized gains, taxing unrealized gains just doesn't seem fair in any sense of the word. In the very best sense, if you are taxing unrealized gains, all you're doing is pulling forward the taxes that would be paid later when someone actually sells the stock.
I think that this reaction to unrealized gains is a little funny, given that I bet that the majority of people watching right now are already paying a tax on unrealized gains. It's called a property tax. When the value of your home goes up,
it's a use tax.
When the value of your home goes up, you pay higher taxes.
This guy's an idiot.
You don't sell your home.
Your value of your home never moves the way a stock moves, the way something else moves. That's always the go-to answer. It's also, property tax is a use tax. You're paying for the schools, you're paying for emergency services. Those are things that make absolute sense.
And sure, and all the revenue that comes in from these unrealized gains taxes and the other taxes in the Harris plan are going to go to creating what she calls more opportunity. It's to make sure that every newborn born in this country gets $6,000.
Using the services.
Well, look, you're arguing that this is some sort of foreign concept that's completely unknown in the U.S. tax code.
It's probably unconstitutional. It's probably, and it was never in anyone's intent.
Let's go.
Unconstitutional. Is that an orange tie?
Probably.
Yeah. So for chat that might not know, it is unconstitutional. This would
they
have
say
to
the
go
income
through
tax is unconstitutional.
But it's like that's been around for how long now? So it's like now embedding a tax that this is what would happen. This is why Harris's team is full of complete idiots. It's why that guy talking is a complete idiot and proves that if he has any form of educational degree, that it just proves college is an utter scam if you actually don't pay attention, and you can pay your way through. Because what would happen is essentially tax season would come around. Let's say your housing markets appreciate in value, right? Up maybe 40, 50, 60, 70% during COVID. I mean, we've seen massive numbers over these years. You would then be forced to pay that unrealized capital gains tax on your house and that appreciated value. What do you think institutions are going to do, DZ?
It gets better, though, because I have stock that gains, so I have to sell the stock to pay for the unrealized tax. I then have a tax on the stock that I sold as well. So I have two taxes there.
And you know what that sets us up for?
It sets us up for go to jail, go directly to jail, do not pass go.
Oh, no. We don't go to jail as institutions who own the market. They're going to just short the living shit out of the market after tax season. And you're going to watch as people pay now all of this money in unrealized tax gains. You don't get to claim your losses. Once those hit that peak, you're going to see a short sell go right through that market, and they're going to take advantage of that swing. And it's going to decimate the middle class.
Junior said it best.
Idiots, dude.
Idiots. This is Junior, it's Tony Soprano's father, if you didn't know. Junior, everyone ends up leaving the USA. That is exactly what's going to happen. We've seen it happen. There's a thing called capital flight, and there will be capital flight. A lot of people will just exit the U.S. system, and they'll be okay with the taxing on leaving.
I love the ones that, guys, you don't understand. Not true. It's for people only worth over $100 million. Do you guys understand what happens with the rich? They're just going to borrow more money. They're going to take on more debt because you don't pay taxes.
That's not the worst part.
It's not the worst part, but it is a huge part of these people that go, oh, it's only for the rich, DZ.
Well,
and they don't realize the rich are rich because they know how to evade every single tax law.
Well, no, the main problem is income tax is only for the rich as well. And do poor people pay income tax today? Yeah. So unrealized tax gains is only for the rich today. But if you go in the future, poor people are going to have to pay
I
it
know
as well.
You know this one, but why did we leave England? How much tax were we being threatened with?
I really wanted to drink my tea without having to worry about the tax man breathing down my neck. Also, I was a Puritan, and I was tired of not being told I can have a belt buckle on my hat. If I want a belt buckle on my hat, I say yes.
2%. 2% tax. And then now they're like, well, we need to tax more so we can have free healthcare. We pay over double the amount for our healthcare from our government than any other country across the world. And our obesity and all of our health rates, our chronic issues, our chronic health is at all-time highs. Comparable, I think it's like 50% of children have a chronic disorder. Like we are fucked when it comes to spending money.
I mean,
That's
have
my one cuss word.
DCA and pray like, hey,
There.
it's not applying to the normal person. I'm saying it will eventually. But then you have Janik saying it's so unrealistic. There's nothing to worry about. So you have two sides. You have sides of people saying this is totally fine. I'm okay with this happening. And then you have people saying, oh, there's just no way it could happen.
Well,
and so, guys, just think about the two different viewpoints there.
There's some more here, too. It's not necessarily the 3% tax that was on those imported goods.
Oh, was it 3?
It was 3, but also it was really the fact that the colonies weren't being represented in the halls of those decisions being made in England at the time. And where we are right now, not only are we fully underwater and overly taxed by probably 20x what they revolted over in 1776, but also, do we feel like we're being represented on a legislative level from the human standpoint? Do we feel like these corporate interests and these government lobbies have taken care of people? Because I think that we are far beyond both of those metrics in our current day and age. And honestly, I hope they push this, and I hope that they try this, because let's light this candle. I'm tired of people being squishy and trying to just exist and be left alone by the government. I want this country to have its freedom
I want
back.
the world that Al Bundy promised me, where just one income could pay for a mid-sized home, 2 kids, 2 vehicles, and you can eat a steak dinner at night. I don't think that's too much to want, folks.
Because I know we have a guest coming up here, and we have to move on to the next topic here. But I actually found a really cool chart that I tweeted out this morning, or posted this morning on X.
Let's see it.
The real reason we haven't had a Bitcoin or crypto bull run in the way people believe it is because people are broke under Biden and Harris. This is from Fred. This is from your Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. The nominal value of people's, actual their net worth under Trump versus Biden, actually pretty similar if you actually look at it from a nominal perspective.
Right. Here's a reference for Drew. So Fred, when you say Fred, not the guy that rips the skin mask off on Scooby-Doo.
No, Fred is not quite.
Okay, I don't want to leave you frazzled,
I
Drew.
do feel like they keep pulling the masks off almost on every single inflation point.
God,
but anyways, adjusted for inflation, households have no liquidity. They have maxed out their debt and credit limits. They have 0 personal savings rates. And this is the truth to the markets right now, is there is very little liquidity from a retail demand. Retail is starting to capitulate. Now, the bullish perspective of this is usually this indicates that we are getting close to a bottom, and we're going to see the Federal Reserve start to pivot on interest rates, whatnot. But what this means is that alt season everybody is expecting. I actually think Benjamin Cowan is very on point with the Bitcoin dominance. I think Bitcoin dominance is going to remain higher for longer until that retail liquidity comes back into this market, because your VCs, the venture capitals that own the majority of your altcoins in this industry, they're not going to market to an audience that has no money. And right now, the actual metric adjusted for inflation just goes to show that financial stress in America is really near a peak at this point. But
we have a question. Where did we get that Bitcoin ticker? What is that called again? You guys recall?
I don't know. We just get sent things sometimes, so I have no idea.
I gave the name. I'll look in a little bit. Or we do have a live look at the SEC. The SEC, of course, in charge of regulating a portion of crypto. They would like to regulate all of crypto because they would say everything is a security. We have a live look at the SEC discussing how to regulate crypto right here. This has sound, I believe, here. Oh, there we go, right there. That's a live look. There's Gary. There's Gary right there.
I actually didn't even know what you were pulling up, and I was like, oh, what's this?
It was there. I was like, all right, I'll go with it. Also, we have maybe the government's going to come after Trump because he just dropped his 4th NFT collection. They had sales over $2 million, but not tradable until 2025. I found this interesting. It's not tradable on secondary markets until maybe if he were to win, he could create some clarity, and then it wouldn't be a security. You wouldn't be trading a security there. So I found it interesting. Like, it wouldn't be tradable until if he were to win, until he is in there. I don't think it is sold out. It looks like you could still get them. I think he was going for a $5 million raise. So you buy 250 in a single transaction, and you'll get dinner and a piece of the actual suit. Now, I've seen some allegations like it's only a raffle. I think if you just get one, you're in the raffle. I think if you do the 250, you're good to go there. So funny how this is going, but it does seem like it's going well. It did not sell out. I don't even know what happens if you click on this.
I bought the last one. I'm buying that one too.
All right. Can you use, you could use a credit card in the past. So I'm assuming you could still do, can you do a credit card still?
Yeah, I think
it's
actually
on Polygon, right?
I did use the credit card option last time. I got the mugshot one. Same thing. You can't trade it till 2025, but yeah, I'm in it.
We do have a picture of me and the boys after the SEC declares NFT securities. Just me and the mutant apes, man. Me and the mutant apes there. No, I'm not there. Let's see.
Look, it's Logan Paul, Steve Aoki, who else? Justin Bieber's
this is a
in
real
there.
photo. Is it? It's not Ross. It's like this guy or this guy is.
I cannot see that far.
Yeah, Justin Evans.
I scratched my glasses this morning and it just ruined it. DZ opened his eyes too quick, so he's watering from them. I'm gonna be blind, I think, is what's gonna happen here. They're just getting just worse progressively.
Bullish.
Is Blofin legit? Yeah, that's what I trade on, Niles. I'm still in 2 open trades right now. Someone's asking Drew, they said, TJ, should I skip buying Bitcoin and focus on smaller market altcoins if you're low in funds? And then we're going to be, we got a special guest coming in about 5 minutes. What do you think? Bitcoin or small alts?
I am much more interested in smaller but good alts. I'm not talking meme coins. I'm talking, I'm liking Deepin a lot. I'm liking distributed GPU systems. But also I'm liking things like Aave, Maker, the DeFi sector, Jupiter. I'm also very interested in stacking more Aerodrome, more Ondo.
Yeah, I think Jupiter might make that Solana video. Folks, again, I saw some of your Solana suggestions up there. It looks like you got a lot of Helium fans out there. Let me know what Solana videos should be in the Solana, altcoin gainer video. I found something secret about Solana with some certain VCs and a certain strategy, but you got to watch. It's going to be coming out tomorrow. Josh, you got a video coming out tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it good?
It is really good. It's about this will happen to Bitcoin's price historically based off the FOMC meeting and the rate cuts. So if you guys want to know what's going to happen to Bitcoin's price historically when we get a Federal Reserve interest rate cut, make sure you guys watch that video because it's more important than ever. So.
There you go. And it might be similar to this one right here. Bitcoin does this every presidential election. So I told people get ready to sell. Not soon, but maybe not too far away.
Sell now.
Back to the government attacking crypto. Then we're going to go to our special guest in a bit. Democrat lawmaker blasting SEC's blatant abuse of power over crypto enforcement. And it's the favorite name of all the Congress people, 535. No one's got a cooler name than Wiley Nickel. Voted most likely to be a baseball pitcher in 1912. But yeah, Wiley Nickel.
Nickel up to the plate.
Democrat from North Carolina. He's voiced criticism against the SEC, accusing them of regulation by enforcement. And he said it's a blatant abuse of power that risks stifling digital innovation across the U.S., which is pretty interesting because, North Carolina, a little bit of a banking hub. So seeing a congressman not captured by the Charlotte bankers, I'm pretty cool. I like this Democrat over here. The SEC should choose to work with Congress to craft clear, fair regulations through a collaborative and transparent process that includes public input. Many are saying the SEC is overstepping its authority by treating digital assets as securities without clear legislative backing. Some further argue that focusing on enforcement rather than collaboration, they're actually undermining its own goal of protecting consumers. I don't think anyone thinks SEC protects consumers at this point. They had a little bit of goodwill after
they've never
Enron.
Definitely used regulation by enforcement.
They've never done fat egg since Enron. That's what I say. Bitcoin realist, we can't say we're putting it in there. He said F the SEC.
Look, let's just ask chat here. L in the chat if you like the SEC, don't like the SEC. W in the chat if you like the SEC. I'm very curious to see where you guys are at with this. It better be only L's and it better break the chat here.
Well, I got a question. How is this a security? How is this? Kevin, the famous NFT from 2021.
He's promising a return.
To his shell, maybe.
How dare Kevin?
How dare Kevin?
Yeah.
How dare Kevin? All right. We don't have our guest in, do we? Because I was going to roll over to Bitcoin.
He's still got to plug back in. So.
Okay, he's plugging back in a bit. Here we have some Rec Capital posting about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Bitcoin for a second. He's going to jump in a bit.
Only L's, really? No W's? Only L's, it looks like.
Only L's.
Interesting.
Only L's.
Interesting.
A lot of. Hey, we got a W from Bernardo.
All right, we got Gary Gensler's alt account in the comments here, so that's cool to see.
Jeffrey Corella is so close to Corolla. I just want to say Corella. All right, here we have Rec Capital. So far, so good when it comes to Bitcoin here. The retest continues to be successful as the week goes on. It's also performing higher lows since early July. So we do have some higher lows. If you count handle bodies, not so much if you count the wicks, because we did wick pretty low there. But it is looking like we're finally hitting a pretty strong level of support. We're getting some confluence here for Bitcoin. We also have a trader, Don. Don, is this Don or Dan? We have Dan's in the chat.
I'd say it's a Dan. Dan.
Yeah. Crypto trades. Okay. Bitcoin, here you can see the journey of our degen. This is nuts. I saw this. I don't know what to explain here. This is a weird story of a whale just spreading and getting blasted. He's getting, I mean, it's that bad. You're about to find
what type
I'm
of
not
spread?
exaggerating.
Explain the
Talking
spread.
about his cheeks. All right, look, he entered, he's talking about some leverage trades here. He entered and he got flushed out for $30 to $50 million 5 times in 1 day alone.
Oh.
This is excluding massive flushes the 1 or 2 days on this pair. Still not sure who or what is doing this, and more importantly, why. I do know whoever is market making against this Joker having the time of their life, as these positions are ripe for taking every time again. You just get some guy just getting washed out by a market maker there. Just be careful. That is why it's so important to look at those liquidation levels. Josh likes talking about them. I like talking about them as well.
I stare at them, actually.
People
I dream
make fun
about
of them. And it's like, no, there are stop loss hunters, and they're out there to hunt people who just want to put $50 million on a table. They want to turn around. And do you think that market maker is going to bash him and then steal their $50 million? Yes, they are. They're incentivized. Yeah. So sometimes those bright yellow lines, it seems stupid, but it's just going to go to the bright yellow line sometimes.
The only people that hate liquidation charts are people that are trying to sell you a course. That is
people on a porn. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Don't show Deezy a black light. You know.
Oh my God.
Along with me today, first with the frazzle.
Damn, we got a lot of semen talk up in here.
Hey, it looks like we got our guest. Our guest is in.
You came in at a good time.
All right.
Always.
Dig us out.
Let me pull up their page here. This is Book.io. Book.io, I went to their convention. They had Charles Hoskinson speaking there. It was a really great time. It was in Dallas. Had the best barbecue I've had in maybe ever. I'm from Texas, but like that place was just legit. They're cooking with something. Book likes to cook. And what they're doing right now, you better take a look. And we're here with the man himself, Josh, if I'm not mistaken. We got Josh with Josh, right?
Mm-hmm. His glasses are better than mine, though, today.
That's right. I forgot. You guys had the whole, you guys look alike when you had your glasses on, which isn't actually true. You both have hair gel and black rim glasses. And it's like, that's enough for y'all to look alike. It's like people with beards. Yeah, y'all look alike. Like, no, we don't. It's just 2 people with beards. But tell me, what is going on, Josh? What's going on with Book? I heard y'all starting to cook. Maybe there's something with Charles. He's not missing. Maybe doing something with you guys. There's a coin named Charles. What is going on over there at Book?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. So we launched another property called Stuff.io as well. So Stuff.io uses our same technology, but the purpose is for implementing it in music and film. So with Charles specifically, we're doing the first fungible media video on Cardano with him. It's a 90-minute interview that we sat down with him. It's sort of a tell-all, like his whole life story. It's pretty awesome.
I love this. Is this going to open up the doors, do you think? And, there's the obvious sector where that could benefit off media and people have to buy that media. But, there's other PG rated things. Do you see web episodes maybe being released like this? Do you see like teasers for movies to help maybe crowdfund a sequel or maybe even finish production? I mean, where does this technology go in the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all that. I think there's all that plus more. I think it could be, music videos. It could be podcast episodes, right? It could be literally any type of digital media, right? Yeah, so,
I like that. Now, there's the obvious industry that's going to run with this. I think there's probably a lucrative ecosystem there for sure. But I didn't even think about podcasts and music videos, especially. I can see music videos as a way of connecting with fans, maybe airdrops for concert tickets. I mean, does your tech essentially, is there any type of thing where you can see who holds a community's or say the Charles video, and Charles going to raffle off a helicopter ride? Is that something that could actually happen, soon, or is this, some pipe dream I'm thinking of?
No, I mean, it's actively kind of what we've been doing over the last 2 years is building out this infrastructure to allow it. So it took us a while to get to where we could really support high res, like 4K, fully decentralized video. But same thing with music, right? Like it's definitely, it was a big technical hurdle, but kind of at the core of our technology, really what we believe is, if you believe in decentralized money and finance, then you should believe in all of your digital assets, all of your media being decentralized as well.
What were your thoughts of Charles Hoskinson appeared to be missing? Were you worried he was, like stuck in Yellowstone or something?
No. I know he's actually on a really cool trip up in Alaska, I think. So, yeah, he's
is he hunting bears with RFK?
Oh my God,
man, that would be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty epic.
What's up with the whale skull too? Can you tokenize a whale skull?
I think you can tokenize anything, apparently.
There you go. All right. So Charles, just a little bit more details. I'm sure I'm kind of interested in this. Do you have a launch date set? Is it filmed already? Or are you about to film it? What's some details around this Charles multimedia, almost like a meme type situation going on here?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So we sat down with him and filmed it a couple weeks ago, actually, right before the show in Las Vegas. And it was. I think we filmed probably a couple hours, and after we chopped out some of the beginning and end just to like shorten it down, we got it to about 90 minutes of just like super solid stuff. It's like his childhood. It's how he started Ethereum with Vitalik and what happened with all of that, and then sort of the beginning days of Cardano and how he got that going, and then on into the future and what he's interested in next. So it's definitely, like, for me, honestly, like seeing it happen live, I just had a whole different view of Charles in general. But so the token itself, it's a fungible token that will be the Charles token. And every single one of those fungible tokens is the video. So it would be similar to taking like the Iggy Azalea's Mother token and saying, if every single one of those tokens was a full album, right, or a music video, right? So we can start to leverage what the benefits and the tradability of meme tokens, but we can pair that with actual digital content and make all of that shareable, so that big celebrities can engage and not run a risk of like an SEC, securities kind of fraud situation.
All right, so I've used your platform. I've used your your ecosystem before. I've read books on my phone, so you can get a book via Book.io. People mint books on the Cardano blockchain. You can go ahead and you can get it in your Nami wallet, for instance. I think Nami's supported here. Yeah. You get it on your wallet. I know Eternal is at least, and then I could later link a wallet and I could read a book on my phone. People might think this is a thing that's a year or two away, or people are building it. No, you guys have done it and you're doing it. How soon until I can maybe watch that interview on my phone?
Oh, I mean, next week when we launch it. So Stuff.io is launched. We've released some videos that we did, kind of an internal documentary about us building this. We've got a couple celebrity interviews that we've filmed recently too that we're going to be dropping after Charles.
All right, Ivan's wondering, you have some token? I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, so the token we renamed as Stuff Token. So it's on Cardano originally, but we just launched a bridge also to Base and to Poly as well.
That's huge.
So you can get it on all three of those.
All right, so you guys are kind of have a bridge for Base. I know Meld, they're working on a bridge for Avalanche, and so it's just more and more onboard ramps for people to enter into the Cardano ecosystem. Ethereum is the second largest crypto. There's just a lot more Ethereum users. And so as these Cardano developers build more bridges to get those ETH bucks, get those Vitalik bucks, and turn them into Charles bucks, it's just going to be better for the entire ecosystem there. But yeah, I pulled it up here, Stuff. You just go to CoinGecko. You could type in Stuff here. Oh, man, you're flirting with that top 1,000 ranking. I think one day this year, I think you're going to be flirting with the top 500, if I may be so bold to say so myself. Now, I know you don't want to talk about price, but I see rank 1,035. You're building more than a lot more of those projects. I'll just go ahead and say that.
Yeah, we are really, our target is to be this bridge to actual mass consumers, right? So people can set up an account with just an email address or connect with social, and then they can buy with a credit card, right? So we really want to onboard not just to other, to the ETH community as well, but broadly across like mass audiences, right? And make it real easy for any consumer out there that wants to connect with, an author or an artist or, a video producer, and they want to come in real easily and get set up and connect with them. We want to branch out to just literally the billions of people that are buying digital media.
Can you speak on the rumor that you're involved with a certain outspoken NBA owner? Or is that still like?
Oh yeah, no, I can talk about that. Yeah. Cuban is one of our investors. Yeah, he was actually one of our first investors, and communicate with him regularly, and he's been great. Honestly, like I think originally I was a little worried about, you see the persona on Shark Tank, and it's like I don't know if we really want to work with him, but it's honestly it's been amazing. Like his network is incredible. It's super easy to connect with people, and yeah, it's been fantastic.
I love it. Well, it's stuff.io. Go check it out. This is Josh, formerly known as Book.io, doing something super cool with the tech, and that's kind of why a lot of us are here. I know a lot of us. We just want our crypto to be worth $1 today and $1.10 tomorrow. But there's actually people out there trying to build and make a better world. And Josh, Book team, Stuff team, I would definitely put you guys in that category for sure. So Josh, always a great time. Hopefully get you back here. And we'll have to make some more content when you release this Charles interview, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Later on, man. Josh, what do you say about Josh?
I like Josh's stuff.
Hey, all right. That was good. I teed you up and you knocked it out of the park there. Bye. All right, well, let's see. All right, so that was back to the Bitcoin here. We talked about the degen trader losing $50 million multiple times over a 24-hour period. So just be careful out there, folks. Today? It was that CoinW account. No, yeah, you got to win, but no.
Damn it.
We do have Bitcoin balances on exchanges. Keep hitting lows. This is going to be bullish. This is going to lead to that parabolic breakout. We all want the parabola, as Ivan on tech says, the parabola. The parabola only happens when there's a little bit of a supply squeeze. And that's only going to happen if we diminish the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges. And that is happening right before our eyes. I don't know the breaking point. You know that little, the game with the sticks, and I think it's like supposed to be ice, and then the ice falls. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know we're removing stick after stick after stick, and eventually the bottom's going to fall out for these exchanges. And what I mean by that, an exchange is going to have to buy Bitcoin, because people are going to come onto the exchange and say, hey, I want to buy a Bitcoin. They're like, we only have half a Bitcoin left. All right, I guess I got to go to the Coinbase or Binance, and I got to buy Bitcoin from them. And then eventually it all starts to create this negative feedback loop where everybody starts running out of Bitcoin. They start buying it from each other. Then all of a sudden, a whale will emerge who mined Bitcoin at 10 cents, and then he'll start dumping the price. That's like 15, 18 months from now. Here we have just the chop suey that's been happening with Bitcoin. I found this pretty interesting. This is how many times Bitcoin's gone above and below 60K. So in the beginning of the year, it was infrequent. March 5th, April 17th. It happened a little bit more. April 19th, the 30th, the 1st, kind of hung around that price range. But just look at August. August 4th, August 9th, August 11th, August 14th, August 22nd, and August 27th. We've been bouncing and chopping around 60K. This is designed to wreck people like this guy that lost his 30. I shouldn't laugh about it. The guy that lost a ton of money right there. So the markets are designed to try to shake you out. So just be careful out there.
We just hit 61K. Ends up.
So we're doing it again. We're doing it some more.
I'm literally going to open this short live, I think. So it looks like we definitely have it. Markets are more bullish than bearish. So I'm looking for a little scalp entry to take advantage of a bit of a pump pullback here. But we got a lot of liquidity to push us up to maybe 63,000 here over the coming week. Potentially even 64K. But again, I want to watch this first liquidity zone grabbed at about 61,300 to 61,500. And then be looking on everything from the 1 minute to the hourly, making sure everything's completely overbought. And then taking advantage of literally a just pump to that level. We come back down to maybe 61. Maybe we come back down to 60,500, 800, somewhere in that zone. And that's where I would capitalize.
All right, don't share my screen, Drew. Everybody type in how many days since Bitcoin all-time high. Yes.
How many days since Bitcoin all-time high?
Yes.
212.
Not that long, but not that far off. Drew, you got a guess?
We haven't hit it yet, adjusted for inflation.
All right, so how long since Bitcoin's previous all-time high?
I'll
give you a hint. March.
Yeah, I was thinking like March.
Days.
Let's say March 23rd.
March 23rd. So how many days ago? Well, we got it right here. We got 1,000 days. No, it wasn't that long ago. 180, 190, 185. You guys are pretty close. 167 days since the last all-time high. We are getting closer and closer. Now, when you look at the markets, we kind of set a new all-time high and then no more new all-time highs. That has not been the case with previous markets, except for the first one, which ended up being kind of what they called a double top. So this is spelling well for super cycle fans out there. So if you're a fan of the super cycle theory, think Bitcoin's not going to have a bear market, the early parts of this stage is lending some credence to that theory there. Now, we did have an interesting inflow, outflow data with the ETFs. Bitcoin broke its streak, saw $100 million outflow. So not what we wanted to see there. But ETH finally had a positive shift, registering the first inflow since August 14th. Now it limped in with 5.9. Why it couldn't be 6, I don't know. But Grayscale also continues to see outflows. Now only down to $3.8 million for outflows. The total outflows pushing $500 million. That is just peanuts when it compares to the money that Bitcoin has brought in. Bitcoin, well, we have since moved, but the whales with 10, this is kind of a large range, 10 to 10,000 Bitcoin, they've accumulated an additional $133,000 Bitcoin in the meantime there. So the whales are accumulating almost at all levels there. More chop equals more sats in my wallet. Well, I'm cool with it. That's the Bitcoin realist. He's out there making good trades. Damn, that's still long as hell for to chop there. Certainly is. Albert Green's wondering, how do I get in the Discord? He is that meme. Let me in. He's Eric Andre. Drew, how does he get in the Discord? Do you know?
I think we got a link down in the description. The Bitcoin realist, man, that is just the best attitude to have. In the season that we're in right now, I have the same season. Every sign of weakness, I'm thankful for. And I feel like we're running out of time. November's just around the corner. It's almost September, folks.
Well, speaking of running out of time, we might be running out of time to get your Bitcoin cheap because I thought it was Peter Brandt. No, Timothy Peterson, $100,000 Bitcoin in 3 months. Josh, what are the odds? If you're a Vegas man, what kind of odds would you give Bitcoin hitting 100K by the end of the year? Would you say this is a 1% chance, a 10% chance, or like a 50% chance?
Like a 7% chance.
Okay. I'm coming in a little bit more bullish, maybe even close to a 1 in 5. 20%. Maybe that's a little bit too bullish. Drew, you got to throw out. What's your Vegas odds for 100K Bitcoin 2024?
60%.
60. So you think it's more likely than not?
Yep. Yeah,
I like that. That's a bullish energy.
Year? Yeah, I do.
Wow. Yeah, he's bullish. He is bullish. He's saying, is it now your primary reason for pumping? Is it quantitative easing as we get closer to an election? Is it for your cycle just kind of playing? Is it BlackRock secretly buying? What's your number one reason? What's your champion reason why Bitcoin hits 100K?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a confluence of all, but the main reason is that the Federal Reserve has no choice but to act like a bunch of pussycats come September. And we have an election.
Are you saying 50, maybe even 75 basis points?
No, that would be bad. I think that dad coming home drunk would be very scary. If Jerome Powell came in and was very angry and aggressively pulling back rates, I think that would be a bad sign for the markets at large. But I think that what we're actually going to see is weakness in the Federal Reserve signaling risk on for markets at large. And we're also heading into that 4-year cycle time frame, which always lands on the election. They kick over the economy. People's liquidity starts to come back. And a new sense of hope will come to the country from what I feel like will be an overwhelming movement for the orange one at the polls.
I got to hope, too. I got to hope that our like buttons are at least hit 250. Did we hit 250, Drew?
Yeah, we're almost at 300. So
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it a whole lot.
Baby.
I like it a lot. All right, let's talk about Trump's sons, not Barron. Talking about the goofy looking one, Eric. He doesn't look. I look goofy. I'm just joking. There's nothing. I try not to make fun of people's looks. It's low hanging fruit. Trump's son launched crypto project World Liberty. That sounds too much like Sam Altman's project, WorldCoin. So World Liberty, this new project designed to offer cutting edge platform. Oh, aren't they all? When have you ever heard of a platform that's not cutting edge? This is just a basic platform that leverages blockchain to provide innovative financial solutions. Also, how to redefine individuals and businesses interacting with digital assets. A whole bunch of saying a lot without saying anything. And it's to democratize access to financial services. Oh, I've never heard of that before. Finally, it's also a strategic move in expanding crypto market. Oh my God, just give me something specific here. Give me something real that I can latch onto. Not, well, we're changing how you think of money. Okay, well, what else? Yeah, democratizing finances. Yeah, what does that mean? We're going to use his global influence. Okay, just so we're not really know much on the details here. Does have Eric and Donald Jr. Adding their layer of credibility. I think I don't know about this one. Wouldn't have done it. Wouldn't have done it if I was an advisor or if I was Trump. I would say you're out of the will if you even think about doing this. Maybe I wouldn't go that far.
You're bringing the hammer down on the boys.
Man. It's all going to Barron if you do this. Yeah,
we know the whole country's going to Barron.
She's married to Jared. He's rich, you know. Then you got the other daughter. She's kind of she probably needs some. All right, so Barron and the other one. You know, we're gonna give her some money. All right. When it comes to your, what's her? I forget the fifth child's name. Do you know, Drew, off the top of your head?
No, I don't know.
I don't know. All right. When it comes to your money, what's more important to you? This is from their account here. If you're wondering, again, just like generic security, freedom, growth, all of the above. So yeah, I don't know. This is coming off like not that well executed to me. We did have NVIDIA report. I made a video on it. I basically told you what was going to happen with the strong chop suey. And in the video, I basically say just stay on the sidelines 36, 48 hours. If you're already in a position, that's fine. But, I would not be opening any kind of position. I wouldn't be kind of trading this. I would kind of wait for a direction to be chosen. And so hopefully you listen to that. I found this kind of funny. NVIDIA, the first stock to have an in-person watch party for earnings results there. That's kind of funny. That's the state of the world today. I would have thought GameStop would have had one too.
Yeah.
Where would a GameStop watch party be at?
Definitely like one of those Magic the Gathering card buildings.
So the comic book shop.
Yeah, the comic book shop.
Okay, the trading card store.
Yeah.
Where would a GameStop watch party be at?
GameStop watch party.
Because it can't be a GameStop anymore. They're like closing down.
I feel like a Hooters.
Hooters?
Yeah.
That's a good call.
All right, yeah. I don't hate it. All right, Arthur Hayes said Fed will ramp up money printer, dramatically increasing monetary supply. This is going to boost Bitcoin. Arthur Hayes, king of pumping his own bag there. But while speaking at Jackson, he's just kind of going over Powell's remarks there. For time has come for policy to adjust, noting that incoming data is going to determine the pace of the cuts. So he's basically saying some point to historical situations where the stocks fell as Feds cut rates. Some fear that them cutting rates is a leading indicator of a U.S. and by extension developed market recession. That might be true, but they're cutting rates when inflation is above target and growth is strong. Imagine what they'll do when there actually is a recession. They will ramp up the money printer and dramatically increase money supply. That'll lead to inflation, which will be good for things like Bitcoin. Another recession signal here. This difference between the share of consumer confidence survey respondents. They're saying jobs are plentiful, hard to get, declined to 16%. So this is the most since the COVID crisis. So basically it's just the gulf, the gap between people saying jobs are everywhere and jobs are hard to get. And so when this gap looks like it shrinks, decline to 16, that's the most since COVID crisis. So so it implies that unemployment can jump. Okay, that makes a lot of sense there. So unemployment can spike sometimes. I don't know if we're going to get a big unemployment spike. However, if Trump wins, they are going to cut government jobs. That's going to lead to a short-term loss of jobs. However, increasing tariffs will increase jobs as more production is abroad here. So it's hard to determine. I don't think anyone knows for sure.
Stop saying too many facts. Tariffs are bad and going to eliminate jobs somehow.
All right. So there are two, just real quick, if you're wondering, there's two schools of thought. Tariffs, prices go up. It is a tax on you. I don't care what Trump says. It is a tax on you. The other thought is jobs come here, which increases wages and the economy. And so that widget costing 1% more is offset by the stronger economy. No one really knows for sure. All right. Elon, I'm not going to get into the article here. This is just leading up to a funny picture. Stick around. Okay. Elon accusing the Brazilian judge, as legal experts are saying his subpoena is illegal. Must also slam the New York Times here. Recently issued a summons there. So he's issuing a summons in a misguided legal maneuver, some are saying. He's cracking down on X in Brazil. But this is the guy we're talking about.
Hey.
Obviously, the lightsabers are added, but that's a real flare on his cape there.
Yeah,
Grok, generate an image if Voldemort and a Sith Lord had a baby and became a judge in Brazil. It's uncanny. This guy
he's evil.
Now they definitely darken his eyes too.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he's ugly as shit and evil. I mean, that's ugly. That's not a beautiful.
His
man.
Personality is ugly.
Bro is white. Like, go outside. Like that
touch
is
some grass.
That looks like my thighs, dude. That is as white as my thighs. You do not want to see those. Those might be what caused me to go blind. As I looked down one day at the beach and saw so much whiteness, I have now blurry vision. That is how white that man's old head is.
I remember him in his movie in the 1995 drama.
There you go.
Powder.
Oh my!
Isn't that the same guy?
Or who's the guy that plays Elvis? He's in the new Dune. He's that white character in Dune. Let me see. I got you.
I know what you're talking about. Also looks like the Prometheum alien there. All right. So we also have
Feud Rotha Harkonnen.
Fade is actually the Wayfish nephew.
Here you go. This is it.
Of Baron.
This is it.
That's him.
That's him. Yeah,
That's
I think
right
we
there.
found him.
Let me get a better image for you guys so you can just...
And then cut back to mine.
There you go.
Oh, God.
It's uncanny, y'all.
That is...
Now cut to Josh's. Yeah, it's the same thing.
This is just a buff version of
All right.
this dweeb.
All right. Let's back to crypto here. We got some pretty cool stuff for Ethereum. Ethereum is going to pump. So we saw Bitcoin turned into outflows on the ETFs. Ethereum turned into inflows and limped in 5.9 million. So it ended a 9-day streak here. So it was outflows 9 days. So that's almost 2 weeks. This or Monday through Friday. When's Labor Day, by the way? Is that Monday?
Well, for most women in America, not often.
Oh,
sorry.
What was that?
That was dark.
You get married and all of a sudden you turn this as like TradFi husband.
Aborts mission. Sorry. Okay, let's go.
You don't like if dinner's not hot. Do you have to like struggle to like unclench your fist?
Yeah, I had to throw in the. Shout out to Celsius, today's studio sponsor.
All right. Let's now we also got some bullish stuff in the charts for Ethereum. So we got some bullish in the background. ETFs inflows, aka BlackRock starting to buy. Also, we got something bullish on the charts here. This is a ascending triangle, and the best way I like to describe it is the market's trying to push it up, but there's people trying to push it down. It's the sellers, and as the market keeps getting higher, as this triangle ascends, you're pushing it against those sellers. Eventually, the sellers, they're trying to push these people down. They run out of energy. They run out of steam. And you can see the people wanting that coin to go higher. They're getting stronger. The people pushing down, they're going to lose eventually. Now, this is, I think, is 70% to the upside. This isn't any guarantee. This isn't like, oh, you see this, just long it and you're going to win. But typically, this is a bullish signal. This is a bullish chart pattern. So very cool there. Justin Bonds, L2s are parasitic to Ethereum. We've kind of talked about that. The more L2s there are, the less money that flows into Ethereum. A lot of people, they got $100 to put into the Ethereum ecosystem, and they're like, oh, I'll buy some Avalanche instead of buying Ethereum. So yeah, more L2s equals tough price action for Ethereum, which could bode poorly for Solana in the future if they ever decide to get strong into an L2 ecosystem there. Yeah, it's something.
No, I'm very curious to think. I'm very curious to know how many people actually thought I was talking about actual labor, like workforce or childbirth, because I was definitely talking about. Jam talks about it here, but hey, we're just moving on. We're moving on.
Okay, with the deep John Steinbeck reference from Mice and Men. You see the rabbits? You see them? You see that like button? You see it? All right, that's a Mice and Men
that's a good
reference.
question. How many altcoins should someone with low funds have?
So if you have low funds, I do think you should be a little bit heavier alts versus Bitcoin. If you have a lot of funds, you should be heavier Bitcoin versus alts. If you have like very low funds, you're, maybe just getting into it.
Crypto. Yeah.
Well, let's just say you have $100 a month, and you're just starting today, right? You got $100. I would primarily be, I would say outside the top 10, but within the top 50. So I'd be in that like 10 to 50 range. So I'd be looking to buy Cardano, Chainlink, maybe some other movers. What's a 20 to 50 coin that you like?
Ondo's
around 50. Yeah, Ondo. Drew, do you got one for that 10 to 50 range?
I'm gonna be real though, with like $100, like I am buying a steamer, or I am going to go flip books on eBay, or you're like hustle mentality. I would hustle.
You're gonna watch Gary V video.
No, Gary V completely Well, I mean,
I'm gonna buy this He-Man.
Gary V a lot of respect, because it got me to do like flipping, like a lot of like garage sale flipping. That's actually very easy to do. It just takes time out of your day. You got to get up early on Saturday, but I'm serious. I'm being serious. Like I'm being dead serious right now. If you only have $100 to allocate to crypto, your focus should be how can you figure out how to allocate $1,000 a month. It's not. That's like unfortunately $1,000 a month is not a lot of money in today's society. just because of inflation, the cost of goods. I mean, $100 like gets you a gallon of milk, some eggs, maybe some meat, some chicken. That's your grocery trip, maybe for 1 week. So, I would focus on how can I get that up and then invest that into these large caps like DZ speaking here. Because even for like Ondo, like let's be real, like I'm looking for like a 5x, like a 5x would be massive, but for $100, yeah, that's really not too much. So you want to figure out how can you get that capital up in a time where all of retail is capitulating, and that would be my biggest focus right now. So.
All right. We have another bullish chart pattern here. This is a total altcoin market cap, still down 47% from its peak, but forming another bullish pattern. Now, again, not guaranteed moving to the upside, but this is market makers trying to push that price down. They're trying to squeeze the alts down, but then the market starts getting support, and eventually the market's like, you won't push us down any further, and then it moves to the upside.
And I will say, if you do have just $100 extra, I would actually probably just try to focus on learning how to trade with that is what I would do. If just allocate $100 a month to learning how to trade. That. You guys got to you're going to lose money trading. Everybody does for the first year, maybe sometimes 6 months, maybe you can get lucky, but
no, you also got beginner's luck. So you could just trade for a week and then never trade again. It's like casino.
That will mean you're like, oh, I'm really good at gambling.
Well, I mean, you go to the casino, play one hand of blackjack, then just leave. There's some about the beginner's luck.
Yeah, there's workarounds there. But
all right, we got not the Riz token, but the Rez token. Going to be expanding governance on Solana via Wormhole. Maybe Wormhole makes it on that Solana video, folks. So Wormhole could potentially be on there. OpenAI, $100 billion valuation with its new funding. This is Sam Altman's project there, founder of ChatGPT. Here's an old school video. NVIDIA gifted Elon one of their supercomputers for OpenAI. Yes, Elon was an original member of the OpenAI board. In 2016, we're talking about almost a decade ago, NVIDIA called it the world's first supercomputer dedicated to artificial intelligence. Only 20 seconds.
The first one we've ever shipped.
In 2016, Jensen delivered NVIDIA's AI supercomputer, the first of its kind, to Elon Musk, then a board member of OpenAI, which used it to create the building blocks of ChatGPT.
Which then created it to make our founding fathers look quite different.
I do want to answer a question here. Gary asks, do you not encourage people to paper trade to learn? You can do that, and I actually tried starting off paper trading, but I'm being just completely honest with you. There's no emotions in paper trading.
Exactly.
You're gonna, no matter how much it can really help effectively, like how to set stop losses and limit orders and all those type of things. But when you actually have capital in the game, the emotion is completely different. That's come from somebody that had coaches. So just, again, I recommend both, but at the end of the day, it really takes it's kind of like, the dads that hold their kid in like a laundry basket and like they're on a roller coaster or something. But they're just in front of a TV, and then actually going to a roller coaster park and actually like getting on it and feeling that emotion is what I would compare it to. But hey, either way works. Either way works. You just got to get started.
Charles Hoskinson missing in an Apache. No, he wasn't missing. He broke his silence after reports that he had gone missing. Why do people think he was missing? Because he was gone for 4 freaking days, you weirdos out there in the Cardano community. I actually had to address this in this video, right? 4 seconds.
Replay it.
I'm still here, guys. I mean, you just said, oh, yeah, that's it there. So, yeah, Charles Hoskinson not missing everybody.
He's alive.
The reports of my death greatly exaggerated. It was on Mount Denali at Sheldon's Chalet there. So, looking at the Northern Lights. So, pretty cool.
Unbelievable.
A little side trip there. Probably not the best internet service here on your cell phone.
No.
I mean, probably not going to be downloading YouTube videos in 4K, watching. Probably not going to make it. Ton back online after second outage. Just interesting. It looks like the dogs token was continuing to crash the chain. At first, when I saw that Ton was taken down when it fell offline, I didn't realize they had a meme token just kind of blowing up the chain there. I was like, founder gets arrested, and then the chain is down. And if someone were to introduce a backdoor into a blockchain, would that blockchain then have to have downtime? But I don't think that's the case here. And I'm sure they would be able to see that in the code there. But I was like, God, talk about a weird coincidence there. He is going to be indicted in France, the founder of Telegram, Pavel Durov, and he must remain in the country under supervision. There's a lot of moving parts. We are not going to know the real reason why he's arrested. Yeah, we know governmental agencies want a backdoor to Telegram. Probably something related to that, but we don't know the real reason, of course. Speaking of France, Drew, did you see what a jail cell looks like in France?
No, I have not.
Have you seen this, Josh?
Check it out.
All right, let's look. This is a jail cell in France. No sound. We'll talk over it. All right. Oh, they got a pink door. They're so demasculated or emasculated.
Very.
Wait, what?
Very nice.
What? Got a damn wardrobe? Wait a minute. I've seen that movie. That's where you hide the hole in the wall.
This is nicer than most like middle class, lower class.
Now, where's the paper mache caricature? The effigy of yourself. A freaking door on the toilet? No, man, you're in prison. You got to poop in front of people. Am I wrong? Wait a minute. I mean, can't you make meth with something like that? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know the recipe anymore.
It looks like a first class
steaks. Now I know you got to spend your commissary, but that's ridiculous. I don't know even if that's true. I think it is. I haven't seen anyone like this.
Like
has
first
been
class on United Emirates.
16 million views. Yeah. So this and it appears that it is the case here. This is the largest prison in France and in Europe.
It's honestly like those prison cells are larger than the average New York apartment.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really kind of sad to think about that, right? Like,
and you get to order steak. You have room service.
It's like more incentivizing to commit crime and go to jail in France because you can actually, be taken care of and have this nice little area. Like, what the hell?
Please take away free speech. Please send me.
You ever remember when you're first in crypto and you're like doing something on an exchange and you ever send something like to a wrong chain or, maybe you're like not sure if you send it to the contract address or the smart contract address or the receiving address. And, maybe you have an issue with an exchange or you have somebody in your life who like sent Coinbase Tether, but it was on the wrong chain with the wrong address. And it's just like stuck forever. And you want to get a hold of this exchange. You want to show up to the damn office. You want to grab the CEO. You want to shake him like a rag doll. That's what you want to do, right? Well, there's a CEO. He had a trial in South Korea and there was a pissed off customer. This man stabbed him in the neck, everybody. Crypto CEO stabbed multiple times during trial involving $800 million embezzlement. Looks like the CEO firm Haru Invest allegedly maybe defrauded their customers of $800 million. If that is the case, this is probably one of those customers. Hugo Hyung-so Lee was stabbed multiple times in the neck by a man being described as in his 50s and who was immediately taken to hospital for treatment. That would also, maybe he put his life savings into crypto and then maybe it all got taken. I don't know. This is all alleged here. The injuries were non-life threatening. The attacker was reportedly a former customer. It was one of 3 executives involved there. And so, that guy, he acted like a founding father.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not sending an email. This chat bot is not helping me get to where I needed it. I wouldn't recommend that ever. Obviously, we don't recommend violence. Follow your local laws. But I think that's a warning to other crypto CEOs. Sam Bankman-Fried didn't have anything like that happen to him. But there's going to be people who lose their life savings, and they're going to be a person with their back against the wall with nothing to lose. That's not a person you want to piss off, folks.
No.
Anyway, I got a couple alt gains or alt coins I wanted to share with you. We just had that Cardano founder Stuff.io. I pulled up Tap Tools. I was kind of wondering what is going on with Tap Tools. I did want to say I wanted to bring up Meld. Looks like we're getting a nice little pump on the daily here. We told you I think we put out that video in the first part of August. This wick is August 5th. So I'm not sure exactly when, but if the video came out early August, guaranteed you have some gains here. In fact, some people who bought the wick then had a nice 50% pump there for Meld. Meld is kind of like a DeFi project stuff, what they're doing with Base. Meld's doing a lot of that stuff with Avalanche. So it's just a good onboard for if you're in the Ethereum ecosystem, but you want to be in the Cardano ecosystem and you don't want to involve a centralized exchange. Meld has a lot of cool tools. A big shout out to the Meld team. And then second one, AGIX. Now, again, not sure when exactly the video came out. This is around August 9th right there. But boy, we're sitting on some good 50% gains right there as well. So I put out that Cardano video. Let's actually look. We put out like cheating, 3 must-haves. That's the Solana. Looking forward. 2 weeks ago. What's the date? What is the date? I'm kind of curious here. Did DZ lead you astray? You have to hit more to find the date. August 10th. Oh my God, DZ did not lead you astray.
I like that.
Oh my God, DZ did not lead you astray. All right, it feels good when we pick some winners. If you're up 50%. So we're all doing pretty good on there. So big shout out to the Meld team. Big shout out to the AGIX team. AGIX is part of the ASI token merger. And that is these are coins on the Cardano ecosystem. Just want to give them a big shout out since we had the Stuff team on. Do you have any altcoin gems you want to share with the audience before we go?
Altcoins not right now at the moment. I am focusing on the trading
Bitcoin
behind me.
You're all on Bitcoin, man.
Yeah, it's tradable right now, and so it's just like I'm taking advantage of the scalp trades, and I'll add to probably a lot of my altcoin bags. Like my key ones are Ondo. I want to start stacking a lot more Solana. I think it's a good time to get some AI
gains,
tokens.
What do you do with your gains?
Take profits.
And what do you do with the profits?
Put them in a USDC.
And what do you do with the... Anyways, all right, if you do have some gains and you got some Bitcoin you want to hold on to, you want a diamond hand, I do want to give a big shout out to getarculus.com. Shout out to the Arculus team. Cold storage is a way to guarantee you don't end up like those South Korean exchange customers. You don't want to be like those guys.
And if you guys want to learn how to trade, make sure you guys just head over to my X or my Twitter here. I am not only constantly putting out my calls on X here. This was one of our trades yesterday. Again, we had the $3,000 winner last night. But all you gotta do is go over to the link in the bio, scroll down to the exclusive Telegram. It's completely free to join. CoinW has 5 coaches in there, 5 full-time coaches doing live stream sessions, teaching you guys how to buy, sell, trade, scalp, trade, spot, trade, everything in there. So if you guys want to learn, it's a great place to go and watch. And other than that, guys, that's what we got for you.
And someone said DZ's going to be taking a victory lap.
Why is DZ taking a victory lap?
If Cardano ends up pumping, and I wanted to show this GIF right here. Yeah. Oh, they don't have the whole one. You know which one I'm talking about, the Vince McMahon GIF with all the money there. I'm scared to like...
They're going to come out on stage.
He has a dark past with his personal life, so I'm scared to scroll Vince McMahon GIF. I think that could go poorly in a couple of different ways. But folks, that's the show for you. Hit the like button on the way out. Josh has a great video coming out. I'm working on my Solana altcoin video. I have found a VC that is going to pump certain coins. I'll give it Pantera. I found some old Pantera research. I'm talking about like going back months and months. There's some secret alpha I'm going to share with you folks. Have on notifications. That's all we got. It's been a great show. You're great. We're all great together.
Thank you for watching, guys.
One thing I noticed